My goal on this call is to convince you that if you're not doing step 2, to start doing it and to give you an outline for it. So step 2 in the meeting is to lay out an agenda for the meeting, to have an agenda. Now, whether you have a formal written agenda, which a lot of you do, which is a great best practice, or you just do a casual verbal agenda, either way, you're going to want to have an agenda. And there's a couple of reasons for it. Number one is it sets you apart professionally. Some of you, all of you are new in this. Some of you are pretty young, and you walk into a meeting and they didn't realize you were that young, but you laid out an agenda and you showed them that you're professional and you're not in there winging it. So it goes a long way in establishing credibility. By the way, the people that you're calling on, guys, these are people that run businesses. They run departments. When they have meetings, they run them with agendas. They're not surprised when they see you lay out an agenda. They kind of expect it, and it's a mini wow. So that's the first reason why you want to do it. The second reason that you want to do it is it keeps you on track. It keeps you both on track. It makes a 30-minute meeting a 30-minute meeting. When they know where you're headed in the meeting, they're less tempted to jump ahead in the meeting. As well as it's easier to get back on track if you have an agenda. If you don't have an agenda, what are you getting back to? So if I've got an agenda, it's easy to get back on track. That's the other reason why I do it. But here's the third reason. And this, just from a sales 101, basic sales fundamentals, the reason why I like it is it puts you in control of the meeting. There's an old saying that says, he with the agenda runs the meeting. I want to be the one that runs the meeting. What I don't want to happen is after I've made the small talk, there's that little awkward silence. I don't want them to look over and say, so Steve, what's on your mind? What can I do for you? That puts them in control of the meeting. You don't want that to happen. Then you're reacting to where they're leading you. And so to me, the best time to lay out an agenda is after you've made the small talk. And then there's always that little awkward silence. There's that 1 or 2 seconds. Both of you know it's time to start talking business. You guys all know what I'm talking about. There's that little awkward silence. That's when I want to jump in and take control of the meeting with an agenda. So I've made some small talk. I've talked about the weather. I've talked about how soon you're moving to Florida. And then I say something like this. I say, Steve, what I've done, and by the way, I appreciate you taking time out for us getting together here today. What I've done is I've taken the liberty to prepare an outline, kind of an agenda that I thought we could cover. By the way, if there's anything that you want to cover, it certainly supersedes my agenda. But here's what I thought we could do. Let me just kind of give you a little bit of background about me and my team, kind of how we work over here. And then what I really like to do is just spend the time focusing on you and your current financial situation. What are you doing right now? What are some of your financial goals? What are some of the challenges that you've been faced with in getting there? What you're looking for in a relationship with a financial advisor, if anything. And if there's a fit, we can kind of figure out where we go from there. So should take about 30 minutes. Does that still work for you? Perfect. By the way, before I actually get started, Steve, do you have any specific issues or pressing needs that you want to make sure that we cover since we have this time together? Okay. Well, let's go ahead and get started. So, and you know what, let me give you a spin on that, because I know exactly where you're coming from. Maybe instead of calling in an agenda and having it like I outlined there, maybe it's just a positioning of the meeting. And, you take 10 seconds and you position the meeting, and you say something as simple as, Bob, really the purpose of this meeting is just to tell you a little bit about our team and just to learn a little bit about you. So that'd be okay. Take about 15, 20 minutes. It could be something that simple. But again, whether you call it an agenda or maybe just a positioning, here's what I thought we would cover. Here's really the focus of this meeting. Does that sound okay? Something along that line. So maybe it's even more simple than I'm outlining there as well.